Welcome to the Explainer. So today, we are diving into one of the absolute most fundamental rules of the universe. We're talking about a foundational scientific law that has, quite literally, shattered the dreams of ambitious inventors for centuries. Yep, it's time to tackle the first law of thermodynamics.
Now let me ask you, can we create infinite free energy? Man, it is such a tantalizing idea, isn't it? I mean, for centuries, people have been obsessed with proposing these perpetual motion machines. You know the pitch, a device you set in motion just once, and it supposedly just keeps going, churning out free energy forever and ever. It's basically the ultimate mechanical fantasy.
But here is the harsh reality. Every single attempt has failed. Just take a second and let that sink in. We're talking about thousands of designs, literal centuries of tinkering, and an absolute universal 100% failure rate. So why? Well, it's all because of one unbreakable rule of physics that sits right at the center of how our universe operates.
So the crucial point is this. The first law of thermodynamics states that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only converted from one form to another. And because of that, the total energy of an isolated system remains completely constant. You just can't cheat it. Any machine out there claiming to produce more energy than it consumes, well, it's a physical impossibility because it directly violates this basic, unyielding law of energy conservation.
To really get the intuition behind how this works, you have to remember that nothing is ever truly used up. You know, it's super easy to think that when we burn fuel or, say, turn on an appliance, the energy just sort of vanishes once the job is done. But energy is the ultimate shapeshifter. It just changes form. It never just magically appears out of nowhere, and it certainly never disappears into nothingness.
Just think about the chemical energy locked up tight inside a tank of fuel. When you ignite that fuel in an engine, that energy doesn't just cease to exist. It transforms. It actually becomes the heat and motion that drives the car forward. The total amount of energy before the transformation stays exactly, perfectly the same as it is after. And hey, the exact same rule applies to electrical energy too. When you flip a light switch in your house, the electricity flowing into the bulb simply changes clothes, so to speak. It completely converts into the light illuminating your room and the heat warming up the glass. The total input perfectly equals the total output. Absolutely nothing is lost. It's literally just converted.
Now, this isn't just some abstract theoretical physics concept. This is the invisible framework governing our everyday reality. I mean, sure, this one law proves perpetual motion impossible, but it also dictates how massive industrial power plants get rated. It calculates the stored chemical energy, what we call calories, on our nutrition labels. And it's exactly how engineers figure out efficiency losses in their designs. It is everywhere.
Okay, let's dive into this with a really specific application by following the energy in something most of us use every single day, the car engine. We already know energy is strictly conserved, right? So let's actually use the math to track exactly where it goes the second we turn the key. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what's happening under the hood. Get this, a standard car engine converts only about 28% of the chemical energy from the fuel into actual forward motion, which means a massive 72% is not motion. But exactly as our unbreakable rule dictates, that remaining energy isn't destroyed. No, it's simply converted into heat, which gets radiated out right through the exhaust and the engine block. The really profound simplicity of this law is that the total energy output still completely matches the total energy input. Even though nearly 3/4 of your fuel's energy is just dispersed as heat rather than the useful driving motion you actually want, the absolute symmetry of it perfectly holds up. If you add the motion and the heat together, you get exactly the amount of energy you started with in the gas tank. All of which brings us to a super fascinating dilemma to close out this explainer. If energy is always perfectly conserved and nothing is ever truly lost, well, why do we run out of useful power? Seriously, why do we constantly need to refuel if the energy never actually disappears? Well, while energy is conserved, not all forms of it are equally useful. As to why that happens, that is the subject of the second law of thermodynamics, which we are going to tackle next time. So keep that question in mind, and thanks so much for learning with me today.